is American Kristi Yamaguchi, who enjoyed a recent trip to her ancestors' homeland, so much so that her program today will showcase an aspect of Japanese culture.
Well, the Goodwill mission that I took in, I think it was end of May, beginning of June, was on a delegation with about 9 or 10 other Japanese Americans. And basically our goal was to come to Japan and really let them know a little bit of what Japanese Americans are like. You know, a lot of Japanese think Americans are all blonde and blue-eyed. They don't realize how Japanese Americans really fit into the American culture. We started out in Osaka and around that area. The visit to my relatives was in Wakayama, and actually the side of the family there was my mother's father's side. So that was interesting to meet them and pay respects to our ancestors and just see how they live. And it was funny because certain things that my family and I do at home, you know, we don't think there's a reason for it, but coming here and actually seeing the people here, how they live, we realize why we do certain things. One example would be whenever any part of my family, brother, sister, when we visit someone or stay the night at someone's house, we would always take a gift. Here in Japan, it's customary, it's called omiyagi, where there's an exchange of gifts. It's done in business and among friends and family. The fun we had on the tour was trying all the different types of food here in Japan, and each region has their own specialty. And these are things I probably would normally not eat at home, but I really grown to love it.
How was it, Kristi?
Part of the reason I am doing the Madam Butterfly is because I came a little bit closer to that side of the Japanese culture. So hopefully they see that as me reaching out to understand the Japanese culture a bit more, even though I am fourth generation American.
Kristi Yamaguchi-san.
American Kristi Yamaguchi taking the ice. She is the defending champion of this event and, of course, the 1992 Olympic gold medalist.
Skating to Madam Butterfly.
Well, she set the tone with a beautiful double act. So here comes a triple Lutz double toe. Well, it may not have been the highest, but it was clean.
Beautiful camel spin on that forward outside edge.
Kristi dressed in the traditional Japanese kimono and with many of the Japanese hand movements that she has studied and learned from her trip from last year.
She studied a video of Japanese dance, and she is a little nervous about performing it here because she wants to make sure that she's doing it right. So she doesn't know how the audience is really going to receive this number.
Well, there's certainly a startling contrast between Kristi and Midori. Midori's huge, dramatic jumps, and Kristi's very refined style. Watch this triple toe loop. It's perfect. Perfectly done. But again, not the height, not the drama of a Midori Ito.
But very much in control. Very consistent skater.
And it is that consistency that allowed Kristi to capture Olympic gold in 1992 and become the U.S. figure skating national champion that year.
Smooth triple loop.
Oh no, a triple Lutz. She came out of it in the middle of the air. Well, that certainly puts a new perspective, at least on the technical mark between Midori and Kristi. However, when you look at this choreography artistically, there can be no doubt that Kristi has the edge.
I think Kristi's improved over these past few years since winning the Olympics. She's been skating with stars on ice, performing night after night, and I think she's grown as a performer, much more expressive, using her body and facial expressions much more. Very gracious number, and certainly a tribute to her heritage.
And a tribute that is well received by this Japanese audience, despite the doubts that Kristi herself had about performing it.
And here's a look at that consistency, the triple toe loop, very centered, very tight, very clean, nice edge coming out of the jump.
And another look at the triple Lutz, which she opened up on. See, she's just not tight enough in her rotation and recognized she would not get all the way around and came out of it early to save herself from a fall.
And the marks for technical merit, as Misha mentioned, dropped just a bit, 9.8s and 9.9s.
And that's a reflection of that one miss and the fact that her jumps just weren't that high.
Artistic impression, much better, 10s and 9.9s.
A real refined and very confident number, and beautifully done.
Her one mistake certainly hurt Kristi, but this competition's still extremely close. Next up, 21-year-old Yuka Sato of Japan, the reigning world champion. We come back to Yo-Yo.